Every single day, you are given 24 hours. Not 25, not 23. 24. The same number that every human being who has ever lived on this planet has been given. The same number that the person you most admire wakes up to every morning. The same number that the person building the business you wish you had built, living the life you wish you were living, becoming the person you wish you were becoming, they get exactly the same 24 hours you get. So why is their life different from yours? I am going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you in a way that removes every excuse you have ever had, because the answer is not talent, it is not luck, it is not connections or resources, or the advantages of a privileged background or perfect timing, or any of the other comfortable explanations we reach for when we want to explain the gap between where we are and where we want to be, without taking full responsibility for it. The answer is 1 hour. Just one, out of 24. One intentional, protected, non-negotiable hour dedicated every single day to the single most important thing you are trying to build in your life. That is the entire difference. Not a secret formula, not a complex system, not years of preparation and perfect conditions and waiting until everything is aligned. 1 hour every day on the thing that matters most. And before you tell me you do not have 1 hour, I need you to sit with something uncomfortable, something that most people feel when they hear this, but very few are willing to say out loud. You do have 1 hour. You have always had 1 hour. You just have not been treating it as the most important hour of your day. You have been letting it dissolve into the background noise of a life lived without full intentionality, into the scrolling and the watching and the comfortable distraction that fills the spaces of a day not lived on purpose. The hour has always been there. The question is what you have been spending it on. Let me tell you what 1 hour actually means, not in the motivational sense, but in the mathematical sense, because I want you to feel the weight of this number in a way that changes how you see your days. 1 hour every single day is 365 hours every year. 365 hours of focused, intentional, uninterrupted work on the single most important goal in your life. If you work at that goal for 3 hours a day, which most side project builders and dream chasers never manage consistently, 1 hour is 1/3 of that. But even at just one, you are accumulating over 15 full 24-hour days of pure concentrated effort every single year. 15 days of doing nothing but working on what matters most. Can you tell me with a straight face that 15 days of focused effort on your most important goal would not move the needle? That 15 days of deliberate practice on the skill you need most would not develop it significantly? That 15 days of consistent work on the business, the health, the relationship with yourself, the craft you've been meaning to build, that none of that would produce visible, meaningful, life-altering results? You cannot tell me that, because it would. It absolutely would. The problem is not that people do not have 1 hour. The problem is that the 1 hour rule requires something that is genuinely difficult, something that goes against the grain of a world designed to consume your attention and scatter your focus, and make every hour feel too fragmented and too interrupted and too contaminated with competing demands to be truly useful. The 1 hour rule requires protection. Not just the carving out of 60 minutes from a crowded day, the active, deliberate, sometimes fierce protection of that hour from everything that wants to take it, from the notifications that feel urgent but are not, from the people who want things from you that could wait but have learned that your attention is available the moment they request it, from your own internal resistance, the pull toward easier activities, the comfortable avoidance that disguises itself as being busy. The hour has to be protected, not hoped for, not attempted when everything else is done, protected as if it is the most valuable hour of your day. because it is. Now let me talk about what you do with the hour, because the 1-hour rule is not just about time, it's about the quality of that time. 1 hour of distracted, fragmented, half-attention work is not the same as 1 hour of complete, focused, undivided presence on what matters most. The hour needs to be sacred, phone away, not on silent in the same room, away. Notifications off, the door closed if you can close it, the environment arranged to signal to your brain that this is not ordinary time, this is the hour where everything else waits, where you are not available for anything except the work that is building the life you want. And the work needs to be specific, not vaguely productive, specifically directed at the single most important thing, the thing that if you made real progress on it today would matter most to your goals, the thing you've been putting off because other things always seem more urgent, the thing that represents the real work, the meaningful work, the work that the future version of you is depending on the present version of you to do.
That is what the hour is for. Not email, not planning to plan, not the comfortable, low-stakes tasks that make you feel productive without actually moving you toward what matters. The real work, the hardest work, the work that the person you want to become needs to be done. Let me tell you what this looks like in practice, because I want to take this out of the abstract and put it somewhere you can hold it. Imagine someone who wants to build a business. They work a full-time job, they have a family, they have responsibilities that are real and non-negotiable. They cannot quit their job tomorrow and dedicate themselves full-time to their dream. Their life is full, their time is spoken for. By every conventional logic, they do not have the time to build something new. But they have 1 hour. At 5 in the morning before the house wakes up, or at 10 at night after the children are in bed, or during the lunch break that other people use to scroll through social media. 1 hour somewhere in the day that they find and protect and use with complete, focused intention on building the thing that matters. And at first, nothing seems to happen. The first week feels like a small contribution to something enormous. The first month feels like slow progress toward a distant horizon. But they keep going, every day, 1 hour, protected and intentional and focused on what actually matters. By 3 months, the business has a foundation. By 6 months, it has momentum. By a year, it has enough substance that people around them are starting to notice. By 2 years, the thing they started in stolen hours while the rest of the world slept has become something real, something that exists, something that could not have been built any other way because there was no other way available. 1 hour, every day. That is all it took. Now, let me talk about the invisible side of the 1 hour rule, the side that is not about productivity or goal achievement or any external result. The side that might actually be more important than all of that. Every day that you honor the 1 hour rule, every day that you protect that hour and show up for it and do the work even when you do not feel like it, you are doing something to yourself that goes far deeper than building a business or developing a skill or making progress toward a goal. You are building a relationship with yourself. Specifically, you are building trust. The kind of trust that most people have broken so many times through unkept promises and abandoned commitments, and the repeated experience of knowing what they should do and not doing it, that they have stopped fully believing in their own word, even to themselves. Every time you honor the 1 hour rule, you are making and keeping a promise to yourself, and every kept promise is a repair, a restoration of the self-trust that is the foundation of genuine confidence. Not the performed confidence of someone who pretends to believe in themselves, the earned confidence of someone who has daily, consistent, repeating proof that when they commit to something, they follow through. That proof compounds. After 30 days of honoring the hour, you know something about yourself that you did not know before. After 90 days, that knowledge has become belief. After a year, that belief has become identity.
You are someone who keeps their commitments, someone who can be trusted, someone who does the work even when the work is hard and the motivation is absent and the progress feels invisible. And that identity, that deep, self-generated, evidence-backed identity, is worth more than any single result the hour produces, because it is the foundation from which every other result in your life becomes possible. There is one more thing I need to say about the 1-hour rule, something that most people miss when they first encounter this idea, and that is crucial to actually making it work. The hour is not just about building something external, it is about protecting something internal. In a world that is relentlessly trying to consume your attention, to fill every moment of your day with someone else's content and someone else's agenda and someone else's demands, the 1-hour rule is an act of resistance, a daily declaration that your time belongs first to you, that your development is the first priority, that before the world gets your attention, you get your own. That declaration changes something, not just practically, psychologically. When you know that every single day, regardless of what else happens, regardless of how full and demanding and chaotic the day becomes, you have 1 hour that is yours completely, protected and sacred and dedicated to what matters most, you carry yourself differently through everything else. You are less reactive, because you are not afraid that the noise of the day will consume everything. You know your hour is protected. You are more patient with the demands of others, because you have already met your own most important demand first. You are more generous with your time and attention in the rest of the day, because the most essential part of your day, the part that belongs to your growth and your goals and your future, is already done. The 1-hour rule is not just a productivity strategy, it is a statement about who you are and what your life is for. It is the daily choice to be the author of your own story rather than a character in everyone else's. The daily act of treating your potential as something worth protecting. The daily proof that the life you want is not a dream you are waiting to pursue, but something you are actively, consistently, unstoppably building. 1 hour, every single day, starting today. Not tomorrow, not Monday, not when the timing is better and the conditions are right and you feel more ready and more motivated and more certain that it will work. Today. Find the hour, protect the hour, do the work, and then do it again tomorrow and the day after, for as long as it takes. Because it will take exactly as long as it takes, and there is no shortcut to the life you want. There is only the daily, consistent, compounding investment of 1 protected hour in the thing that matters. 1 hour. That is the rule. That is everything.